June, I think, 1952, 1953. People came from all around to see our garden and smile at the flowers. I think 1952, my mother won the local amateur gardener award. There were polished china vases full of roses on every surface. The smell of them filled the house. I taught the dog to piss and do sly shits in the borders. I thought it might wither the plants. They were so admired by everyone, looked at and loved and fucked by the bees. And in 1953, there seemed to be more flowers than ever. She won it again. She was getting lines round her eyes. A man came to the door, sold her some royal jelly honey and some face cream with it in. It was supposed to keep her face youthful and tight, the man said. He smiled at me, fat bastard. I thought, if I used enough, I might become a queen bee and have 1,000 babies. I used it all up, and nothing happened, except I was slapped round the legs. In my mother's garden there was a bee, a dainty bee. I thought it loved me. It followed me around for hours. It went in my hair and around my legs and stammered in my ear and tickled. I didn't know that bees died when they stung you. I buried it under the flowers around the edges of the garden with the dog shit. One time, on one of those days, a farmer told us to fuck off, so Terence threw an apple at him, and the farmer got a nosebleed and bled on the grass. I loved him for that. It was in the 70s, just 1970, or afterwards, or the 60s. I think I loved him at the time. I had such tits then. An old man said they were a sight for sore eyes. So I said to him, "You prick, I'll pluck your sore eyes out. Don't even look or think about my tits, you prick." Years ago, I heard he died of some sorry malfunction of the body. I felt quite sad for a while. Terence was there before he went. He found me in the bathroom, in the bath, with my legs and a bee on them. I said what I read in a book, that bee stings help with arthritis, stops my thumbs hurting. He flushed it away, still alive. I think he hit me, or I hit him. I told him to fuck himself. He stopped calling anyway. I used to wonder if the bee, the first bee that died, would be born again. I thought it might be a person now, somewhere in the world, trying to find me. I used to hope. Now I hope it isn't. People talk a lot these days. It was hot. I let it sting me on the privates. There was a little pink mark of pinched skin, brushed yellow with the pollen from its knees. It left a scar. I think I was smacked. I remember being smacked. I was put in my room for a long time. I had Sudocrem smeared on the sting, but she made it worse with her rough hands. I was a foul-mouthed child. I washed the grass stains out of the dress myself.